From PlebLab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. I'm Car. I'm with my BFF Keyan here at TabConf. Keyan.
What's up?
So yeah, we're just talking about, I don't know, dude. It's been a week here at TabConf. What do you should talk first. How's your week been?
It's been great. As I reported on Stacker News, I bombed my workshop. I'm told I didn't bomb it, but I like to consider it a bomb. It was a bomb relative to my fantasy of the workshop, and I just like to be bearish. But that was cool. I spent most of my time in my hotel room eating takeout and trying to get my next presentation done, which is called "Why You Shouldn't Use Stacker News." I also posted that on Stacker News, and I've gotten some really great feedback. Thank you. Anyone who might also listen, Katie, if you're listening. And then we also, someone's trying to break into our room. Then we also, one presentation Car gave a great presentation. He gave two. He was on a panel, and then both of them were great. One of them made me cry. And then I told you, it made me like kind of teary-eyed. And then I watched Carla, who works for Chaincode Labs, give a talk on channel jamming or channel unjamming, which I'm really excited about because it overlaps a lot with the stuff I do with Stacker News as reputation and spam. It's been channel jamming is spam, so I really enjoy any chance I can interact with the research because they're basically studying a similar thing. But otherwise, I'm really excited to be here. And how about you, Car? I think you shared a little bit.
Yeah, we have to share mic stackers for you listening at home. We're doing it old school. This is kind of like the old days when we used to do it, right? We're in the Capital Factory. We just make it happen every Friday some way. So yeah, I'm on low gear. Very low gear. We're drinking some Miller Lights. It's a bear market, boys. It's a bear market.
What would we drink in a bull market?
I think we were drinking like Dos Equis. You remember that? Yeah. Not a major upgrade, but anyways, should we get the door or should we just leave it locked?
I think they left.
Okay, they don't care. I was just, maybe it was like Stacker News live fans, That's what I was thinking. No one knows that we're in here. Yeah, with all that, let's jump into the top 5 stories. We'll run through the top 5 stories and we'll talk about all the stuff at TabConf. I'm sure more people want to hear about it. Cool. The first top story is introducing Joinster, decentralized coin join implementation using Nostr. It had 16 comments from KPA and Nostr posts, 9,97 sats. Keyan, what is Joinster?
Yeah, so Joinster is a coin join implementation that coordinates over Nostr, it appears. I don't know a whole bunch about coin join, so I don't want to talk too much out of school, but it's basically doing coin join coordination on Nostr rather than using some kind of custom coordination software. This is kind of like one subset of the functionality we'll imagine will appear on Nostr are these kind of bespoke use cases that require coordination, and they would normally use their own software to do this type of coordination, can now use the generic, well-established, public use servers that are Nostr relays to do the coordination. And so it's basically what they're doing here. It seems like they put a lot of work into it. They have diagrams, which, who likes making those? And then they also have like a bunch of different UI, like user interfaces for it. Yeah, they have an Electrum. I don't know if Electrum has plugins. Apparently, they have some kind of integration with Electrum. And so if you're an Electrum user, you can now use Joinster to do coin joins. Overall, pretty cool. I think this is, really suggests the power of Nostr and the applications beyond, even social. I think social is maybe the hardest use case for Nostr to actually land in, but all these other ones, I think it's probably pretty easy for Nostr to make a really big impact. I think it will make an impact socially, but it's going to be easier and more immediate for these other use cases.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. Like, it's all the stuff on the edges that's gonna like really change with Nostr. And it's like it's funny because even at TabConf, there's some people talking about this already. Like, we're kind of building this new like internet stack, right? And Nostr is just another part of that. So yeah, it's fascinating to see. This is really bullish. Just a huge shout out to, looks like they have some acknowledgments for the Human Rights Foundation. And then he listed a lot of Stacker users. So Jeremy Rubin, e-currency holder, Fiat Chaff, Jeff, A Chow, and Quadrant Relax BT. So pretty cool. Yeah, they made it happen. That's cool. But do you think we'll see more of this kind of like? Do you think we'll see more like the edge case stuff for Nostr as opposed to the the social stuff, which is kind of boring, dude, to be honest.
What makes you think it's boring?
Yeah, it's just like there's like so many clients already that
You're right. It's saturated. Yeah,
it's saturated.
it is saturated. I think we will see. This is like day zero for these other use cases. I think what's interesting about Nostr being generic enough to do social and these other use cases is I think what is motivating people to run Nostr relays, it is the social use case and the willingness of social Nostr users to perhaps pay for their relay. But I think they're subsidizing these other use cases that I think will be very fruitful and interesting and generative and bullish for Bitcoin, privacy tech, and all the things kind of adjacent to a technology that when you have self-sovereign identity and self-sovereign data.
Yeah, I would also say if you're doing a project, do what Joinster did. Make a GIF. It's so easy.
Right.
Just make a GIF, record it on your laptop, screen recording, and then go to Easy GIF and make it. And then that's the easiest thing to do. This is probably why it's a top post. Honestly, I know it's painfully obvious, but as Bitcoiners, we need to get better with our media delivery. Okay, the next top story is telemissions are a terrible idea. This is a Bitcoin post from Josh, September 5th. 101 comments. Wow. 11.5 thousand sats on this post. What is going on here?
Yeah, so around all the drive chain drama, there's it's like, okay, so we hate drive chain. Like, so there's a category of people who are like, we hate drive chains. Drive chains are trash. They're custodial. They change the security incentives of miners, and there's all those negative things. And then so the common refutation of those arguments against drive chain is like, well, what about the security budget? Drive chain at least ensures the security budget is going to increase. And I think some of then the counter argument to that appears to be tail emission. And so tail emission is coming back up again, where we basically add we don't cap the supply of Bitcoin at 21 million anymore. What we do is we allow a small amount of inflation, a small amount of Bitcoin to be rewarded by to miners by simply mining Bitcoin as it currently does today. And so this is just a kind of a debate about something in the future that makes a bunch of assumptions. And so everyone has a bunch of ideas that are founded on their own unique assumptions. And so it's basically ripe for discussion, right for argument.
Did you go to the drive chain?
I missed it because I went to your talk. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was happy to not go. I'm sure I'll catch it online or something. It was the main stage. So
there was for the Sackers at Home, there was a drive chain. Was it a debate? Kind of a debate, right? It's a debate, and it looked hilarious. Tidwell was wearing a referee. He's wearing a referee with the thing. It was amazing. I can't wait for the video. But yeah, it just happened to fall at the same time I was going on. But yeah, I'll check it out. The top comment from Elvis Mercury, he said, the tail emission arguments can't be put to rest until we actually see empirically what the security budget turns out to be, hashing out the possibilities in advance and coming up with possible actions to mitigate catastrophe before it's actually on top of us is a sensible response. Faith-based assumptions that everything will be fine because everything has been fine up until now is about the stupidest possible approach to system engineering. I would have thought every Bitcoiner would have this in their DNA, but it has not proved to be the case. This is from had the top comment. What do you think? Does he have a? Does he make sense here?
I mean, I think being I think this is I think is probably I would guess, we don't know, but I would guess this is actually the perspective of many of the Bitcoin Core people that we respect highly. Is like, I'm not going to make a determination on whether telemissions are needed now. I'm also not going to make a determination on whether they aren't needed now. The I think sound thinking requires that you have an open mind and wait for the circumstances to appear before you begin um, acting on hypotheticals. And so I think that is, I think, it's rational.
Do you think it's going to lead to a fork? This whole drive chain debate.
I don't really know. I haven't really been following the drive chain debate. Not much of it has occurred on Stacker News. Jimmy's been posting about it. It seems like there isn't consensus on it. It seems like there's enough loud voices that would attempt to prevent it. I think people are just unconvinced that it's the right thing to do, and so I think it might lead to a fork. I don't think Paul wants a fork. I don't think he wants a hard fork. But he's threatening a miner activated soft fork, so I don't know.
These TabConf, we're at the CNN Center here at the Omni. These TabConf walls talk. That's all I'm saying. I'm hearing otherwise, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
So Paul did raise $2 million to get drive chains into Bitcoin. So he's got a $2 million arsenal that he is he's basically deploying. I don't know, just with his energy or effort or however else. So he's more motivated than ever before. Maybe we'll see an attempt at it. I think it's tricky because it really suggests that if he's successful in doing a miner activated soft fork, what might occur is I'm not exactly sure what defenses users have against that.
They're talking about it now. Like I was talking to Kaylee. They're thinking about doing it in the comments, like a debate. So
yeah,
maybe we go back to Austin and have more. Maybe we go back to Austin and have more conversations about it. But there's already it would be good to.
Yeah, I think there's a social aspect. I think that social aspect. I think with the technical aspect, I'm not sure exactly what happens because with a soft fork, you don't have, if the miners start running the drive chain software, if you and I don't upgrade, it doesn't matter. We still see the transactions, or we still see drive chain opcodes as valid. And so it's like if they can convince the miners to do it. But I think there are ways that this can be prevented, and I'm just naive to them or forgotten them or something. So maybe there's more to the story or the kind of hijacking case than I realize.
Yeah, check out the post. There's a quality debate in here with some people talking about every scenario. So definitely check it out. The next top story is the best way to accept Bitcoin is about to become even better. BTC Pay app. This is from Lux, September 5th, Bitcoin post. 14 comments, 8,100 cents. Can I get a woo BTC Pay server? What is this? Is this
So this is cool. This is pretty cool. Pretty exciting. I think they're all good. I think they're in Riga. I think they're in Riga and they announced this. But basically you can get a BTC Pay server on your phone now. That's basically what this is. Prior you would have to set up a node and
that's actually good news.
Yeah. I mean, if you were interested in running BTC server before, but you a server.
Is it difficult to run it on your phone?
No, I don't think so. It's probably not. It's probably not. But they partnered with Spiral and LDK, and they built a mobile app, and so it'll be presumably as easy to build or as easy to run as a mobile app on your phone, or perhaps a Lightning node, a Lightning wallet on your phone. And yeah, so now if you're a merchant, you don't have to run a node. to begin accepting Bitcoin with the same level of self-sovereignty that you might or you might want. You can just run it on your phone.
Yeah, I think for me, just as a running a business, I think I've already moved past it. Like I'm over it. But this is good nonetheless. I think this is good. This will probably get people that need, and I think there's also, I think we talked about it before. It's just I don't think the target audience is like me. It's probably like other countries, I'd imagine. I don't know if that's a dumb thing, but yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think you are the demo. I think, of course, the BTC Pay would love you to be the demo, but I think it probably mostly applies to someone who can't KYC into ZBD, or they can't KYC into OpenNode, or they don't want to because they're selling bananas when the state regulates banana sales and they're not allowed to. So they want it, but they still want to accept Bitcoin, and so that's why they want to run something like BTC Pay server. This is basically like pretty strictly freedom technology. And if you were free already, what with alternatives, why would you maybe you wouldn't use it?
Love to see it. Love to see the progress on that project. Cool. Check it out, Seckers. The next top story is RoboSats is back online. This is from Onion, September 6th, Bitcoin post, 17 comments, 7,871 sats. It was offline?
We might have covered it last week. I don't actually remember, but they were having issues with their L&D node. I forget exactly there was like an issue. I posted the issue and some of the discussion that was happening on Nostr about it. I think a week prior to this release coming out, where they had a new node, but they had to take their old node offline and spin up a whole new one. And that took about a week. So RoboSats was offline for about a week, and people were, RoboSats is a really popular service. I'm always impressed to see their numbers and growth, because I remember it just appeared to be a toy like a year, maybe 18 months ago, and now it's this essential service. There were several people who chimed in the comments and they were like, "Oh no, it's down. Oh no, this is news." They, people who are DCA using RoboSats. So cool to see that they're back up and figured out whatever issue. I think it was some kind of issue with LND. I hope it might be a bug of some kind that is specific to them given their type of activity. But
yeah, really cool. I love what the RoboSats team is doing. Like you said, we've been covering it for a while now, and every time it's really cool. The top comment was Orthzar. He said, "I have to ask, how do we know that Tor address is legit?" And then Onion said, check their documentation. So learn.robosats.com. Definitely check it out. There's all the docs, access, everything. We should do a workshop on this, I think. It looks really cool. The next top story is different ways for content creators to integrate with Bitcoin. This is from Natalia. September 7th, Bitcoin post, 38 comments, 7,418 sats. Wait, there's another way?
There's so many out there. That's the beauty of open money. I'm gonna see if I could pull this up so I can pull out some of the wisdom here.
I can talk a little bit about why you do that. Yeah, it looks like it is showing a lot of Lightning Network ecosystem stuff. Look at this. Do you ever end up on this list whenever they have these?
I think I'm on there. Sorry. I think if you look on there towards the social apps, I'm on there. I asked them to put me on that list. All right. I think I complained on Twitter, then someone who's has more agency than me. You gotta find the person who makes the list and beg them and be like, "Hey, I exist. You forgot about me." And they're not a butthole usually, and they'll just like do it. Yeah, especially if you apply. What's going on? Well, Natalia has been doing these great write-ups, and she's talking here about how to get tips from your audience, say, specifically from the position of being a writer. She said on Stacker News she earned 100K sats, but she talks about 21 Uno or 20 Uno. I think that was a widget that you used on your site at one point where you paste in.
Yeah, dude, I love this.
Yeah.
It's funny because this is getting recreated on Nostr, but it's already been out.
Oh, is it? Okay, good. I think these guys are.
They're not recreating. I mean, just people are.
Other people are doing it. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I love that. I still use it.
yeah. This is really. I remember this being really popular on Stacker News when it was originally released. I think it was the founder up there, Renee Aaron, I think, or the creator. Yeah, but she recommends that. She recommends if you're no, that's specifically writing. If you're selling digital goods, you have integrations with BTC Pay, Shopify, WordPress, and just kind of encourages you to Ellen Bits, I think, is another one she lists, which is a very popular tool. But just nice survey if you're trying to make you're trying to sell content in a self-sovereign way online. But this is maybe should Natalia is recommending some of the stack they might use.
Yeah, and it's even interesting too. Like we were talking about it in the Lightning Village. Like there's just, and we haven't even seen the explosion of like apps built yet entirely, just because of where we're at with the Lightning Network. And I wouldn't say so much adoption. It's more like Lightning Network. How'd they describe it? We need to scale Lightning. Is that the thing that people are saying that that's gonna get more apps built? What do you think?
Yeah, there's like a lot of bear sentiment around Lightning. I'm not sure entirely where it comes from. I think people did feel like they were promised that Lightning would be more mature, more defensible, have fewer flaws in it than it currently does. And the fact that it does is the fact that it doesn't, or it continues to have some of those flaws and is maybe weaker and less successful, indicates to them that it's failed. And I think they're just wrong. And it's important to pay attention to the source when they say these things. If they're, say, somehow conflicted into believing that Lightning is a failure because they have a project that, assumes that it has failed, maybe discount their opinion on it. I personally think it's like the first inning for Lightning. It's basically fundamentally. I'm not sure you can get something fundamentally better in terms of scaling payments than direct peer-to-peer stuff.
Yeah, it was. I forget who said it, but somebody was saying something about like we keep getting more adoption, right? And then that creates more scaling problems. So it's like yeah. That's where I think that the stack, right, will help with like Nostr and I don't know. But at least now there's like APIs, right, that you can utilize to get Lightning payments across. I mean, in here they have, Fountain, Wavelake, all that kind of stuff. So, and there's you right here, Snacker News. I found it.
I'm there.
Yeah. The top comment was from Natalia. She says, "Plus, I'm wondering if any stacker has good recommendations on hosting. I tried GoDaddy and SiteGround before, but not so satisfied. Is generally not bad, but quite slow if you need to ask from anything or from them." Zekias came in. He says, "I use Linode, now part of Akima, for the internal stuff, VPN, including password manager monitoring, because they allow us to use recent Linux kernels required for best experience with WireGuard VPN. I don't know if you have specific requirements, but for me, Linode works well. I only needed not too old Linux kernel plus not too expensive network IO rate." Yeah, and then I would say Darthcoin has a couple tutorials on that, I would say as well too, so definitely check that out. Cool. The final top story of the week is join us for the first sovereign engineering cohort. This is. Oh no, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I've had a Miller Lite. Oh, this is okay. Yeah, so we're gonna jump in. Okay, so that's all the top 5 stories of the week, stackers. As you know, this is it's been a long week. I'm not tired of just like, what would you call that?
I don't know, exhausted.
Exhausted. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Yeah. It's Friday. You're getting exhausted card today, stackers. So this is Keyan's top story. I'll let him talk about it. Yeah. But tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, so it looks like Galaxy Brain, GG, and hacker legend Pablo are getting together to do sovereign engineering, which is, as nebulous and open and free, it sounds like, as Nostr is itself. They're gathering a cohort of builders to Madeira in Portugal for 2 months, kind of no strings attached, nothing really planned. But the idea is to get, the best and brightest in Bitcoin and Nostr, the people who are, of course, willing to travel to Madeira for 2 months together and just see what happens. And that's so cool. Such a metal move. And it sounds awesome. There's also, I'm not super familiar with Andre, but it begins January 8th, 2024, and ends March 1st, 2024. And that is, I guess that's kind of winter, but I suspect because Portugal is coastal, the weather is probably nice year round. So I'm not so sure. They might just be trying to, yeah, I mean, they might just be interested in, people who maybe can move there already. Maybe OpenSats is going to back it, given that Gigi is heading up OpenSats now. I don't think they're not really explicit about it, but I think they encourage you to apply. And perhaps if you meet the bar or whatever, they'll tell you more.
It definitely sounds like a passion project, which is cool to see. I think we've seen it in Austin, right? Like what happens when you get a bunch of really smart Bitcoin developers in a city and like all the fireworks that comes out of it. So this is a good move. I think we need to see more of this. I would definitely say if they could help with like some of the costs, maybe they can get OpenSats to pay for these people in the cohort, give them housing, and give them some travel costs and maybe a free meal once a week or something. Because I know like here in Austin, whenever there's somebody coming in or trying to move, we do our best as a community to like help them find housing or rooming up or something. So looks like the top comment was deleted by Nemo. And then Siggy47 said, fantastic. I understand Madeira is beautiful in the winter. I'd like to just go and watch. This is really cool, dude. I love the initiative. This is awesome. Definitely use that OpenSats money for that for sure. But yeah, it would be cool to see the Lightning Prism stuff get really, especially with Gigi there, right?
Yeah. The inventor of the term is there to guide you, and who knows what else he's going to describe in a way that encourages and catalyzes something new.
Yeah. Stackers, go to sovereignengineering.io and apply. It looks like you have an application process, and it looks like it starts in January. Cool. My top story of the week is it's a TabConf post. Was this the only TabConf post of the week? No? It's buy Cube a drink at TabConf fundraiser, sat raiser. Just send me money, please. This is from Nemo. 54 comments, 10K boost, 184,000 sats, bro. Really? And then what was it? I saw this after. Well, I'll let you tell the story. Hang on.
Yeah. Well, I was on Monday, or no, it was Tuesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, on Wednesday, I did a workshop on Web of Trust, and I spent most of my time trying to get the demo of Web of Trust up. I built this like simulation, this like toy where you could explore Web of Trust, and I struggled to get it to run on my demo computer that I was presenting on. The whole audience got it working fine, but I couldn't project it onto the screen.
Really? That's what happened?
That's what happened.
Okay, so it did work for the audience.
It worked for the audience for some of them, but for some of them, they weren't using it right because it was just like a half-built application, a half-built demo. Anyway, and then I stumbled through my explanation of things without a visualization. It was. I mean, I would if it were a stand-up comedy set, I would say I bombed.
Wow.
That's what I'd say.
So for the stackers at home, I was in the other builder room because we were trying to onboard all the hackathon projects that we're doing for the TabConf hackathon this year, and I'm not gonna say who. Somebody came in and was like, Keyan just bombed his. I don't mean to laugh, but somebody literally came in and said the exact same words, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Really?" And then the second thing I thought, I was like, "Oh no!" And then the third thing I thought was like, "Wait, didn't he already do this? Because you did a Web of Trust thing at PlebLab last year, right, or this year? What was the difference? Was just the actual thing?
I made it. It was way more technically in depth. So the one I gave at PlebLab was more of a conceptual overview of what Web of Trust is attempting to do and what you might expect to get from it. And this was meant to be like talk number 2, where it like builds upon, like, assuming someone watched that talk, which probably no one did in the audience. Then what I was trying to give them was like, this is how you freaking implement it. This is like what it's actually doing to make it work. And so that's what bombed. I was told, Super told me it wasn't actually that bad. He didn't think I bombed. So that made me feel slightly better. I don't think it was that bad. I think it could have been, it wasn't absolutely terrible, but it just wasn't as good as I had intended it to be. And that just, generally that upsets me, and it might as well be a bombing for me. Huh?
Did you get a drink when they raised them?
No, I haven't gotten my drinks yet. So
You guys bought him a Miller Lite.
I mean, I got this Miller Lite for free. I will spend this on alcohol while I'm here. I don't know how many beers that'll get me. Maybe like 16 or something. What are they?
$42.
All right, I got $42.
There's a bar up there, I think.
Okay.
You should probably get like 4.
All right, I will do right by you guys, and I will drink either one very expensive drink.
They want you to get a whiskey.
All right. I mean, I don't know if they're actually
Public enemy say whiskey.
they deserve to have that much say over what I drink, but I'll do it.
I wanted to see that, but that was like one of the first talks, dude, that happened on Wednesday, and then everybody was coming up to me, "Oh, you're gonna go to Keyan's talk? You're gonna go?" I was like, "Man, I want to go, but I can't."
Yeah.
But but there's a lot of people. But today you just gave that panel right now in the Lightning Village, and people are paying attention to this Web of Trust thing, especially on Nostr. I think you're swaying opinion on that thing. What do you think? No, you're gonna say no.
Oh, I don't know. I think I've definitely convinced people that maybe my ideas aren't terrible, and so that's
Talk about the PGP thing.
right. So so PGP. So this Web of Trust thing originates with PGP, I believe, in an attempt to like prove that someone owns a key pair or a public key that they might claim to without you having to directly know them. But that was like the original social network, was the attempt to do this in a decentralized way without a central server. Is you would have this Web of Trust thing where like I trust this person's pub key, and that person maybe trusts other people's pub key who you don't know. And that allows you to maybe authenticate or prove to yourself to some degree the authenticity. But that's like the original social network that predates every other type of social network, and it was decentralized. And so Web of Trust is like, and so there's a bunch of research on that, and Web of Trust basically revisits that concept. People mostly think of Web of Trust as like this naive, simple thing where like I go on someone's Twitter profile, and what it has is all the people that I'm following, if they're following that person. That's really not what I think a rigorous definition of Web of Trust means. It means a web. It means several layers deep. That's basically what it means. And so I somehow I thought other people had come on board with that, but
It was like people talking about it.
I know, but I think
Like,
here they
the
have.
other day people were talking about it, and then today you were talking about it to everybody, and there was some. I think people that could go and take that and go do their own research. So it's a ground game, man. It's winning the ground game first to sway opinion.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing. I hope more Bitcoiners use it in their project. I mean, frankly, it's like part of our secret sauce, but take it, and make a better world with that. What they have they call it Web of Trust 2, but it's similarly not very sophisticated. It's kind of more like this simple definition of Web of Trust. I think all of these people will get it. They'll, it's just like I iterated towards my version of it, and they will too. I hope we can share ideas. Or maybe I just share ideas and it gets, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. That's what's been cool about TabConf is all the kumbaya moments. And that's all our stories of this week. We're gonna go into the top stackers of the week. We got Siggy47. Is that 359K for the week? Wow. Dude. Oh, you're putting referrals on there now? Nice. This is new or no? Okay, I just noticed it. Just haven't. I haven't been watching Stacker News this week because Yo 2x 90,000. Dude, these are higher. You're on there. Bird Eye 21, Bitcoin Interest, Carlos Fandango, Zekias Lux, Jamie Song. They're all 22. That's nice. Then we got the most boring segment in Bitcoin. The Cowboys. Key, here you go. There you go.
That's right. Carl likes to tune out. He likes to close his ears, close his eyes for this one. But Siggy is, rootin' and tootin' him, has the biggest streak on this list of all the Cowboys. He's really roping them and toping them and duping them and looping them. And Xeus is, on his tail. Orthworm also hot on his tail. I'm heading up the ranks, and you guys know that I'm not gonna get usurped anytime soon. So you better watch out. Watch your cows or watch your horses hide, fellas.
Awesome. Just the quick comments here. This is from last week's episode, Stacker News Live 83. Every sat counts. Menudo, that's from Blockchain Boog. And then he said, "Sorry guys, but Rook's lightning round is better." Dude, Blockchain Boog agreeing with Car. Told you. And then he also said, "Release the list, Car." I don't remember what that was. The list, yeah. I have to go back and listen to see what list he's talking about. And then that's it. What are you doing this weekend, Keyan?
Well, I'm gonna try to consume 190,000 sats worth of alcohol. So I guess one thing I'm obligated to do.
Yes. Look right there. So look, Nemos 184,000 sats, saying good secretaries people, 71 independent zaps. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. We're almost at 200K at conference day.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I have a talk. I'm giving a talk tomorrow about why you shouldn't use Stacker News. Why you shouldn't use the slides are up on Stacker News right now. It's really, if you're not going to be at TabConf, I do recommend going through the slides. It's a really interesting exercise that most people their skin will probably crawl a little bit, and that's part of the fun. But basically, it's me. Like when I use a product, I think about why I should use it, but the other half is like why I shouldn't use it. And the thing is, people who build products and sell products to you, they never tell you why you shouldn't use their product. And so what I'm doing here,
it says, tell them the full title.
Why you shouldn't use Stacker News, unironically given by someone who works at Stacker News. It's full of memes. It'll be fun, but it'll make your skin crawl, and you'll love it. But anyway, I just list out all the reasons why, people who are critical of a product might, or discerning might choose not to use Stacker News. And I tell them, I list it all out here so that they don't have to do that work for themselves. I did it for them. And I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. I think it's also interesting to do as a product builder. This is like half of your job. You have to think about, what am I building that would make someone use my product, but what also am I building or not building that would make someone not use my product? And that's what this does. And so I'd recommend anyone with a product do this.
That's awesome. I love that you did that. There's some good comments in here. Definitely check them out. But I think I'm looking forward to, dude, like all the talks that I've had, like all the founder talks that I've had this week, like, and they know who they are. I don't need to mention them, but like, dude, those are some real talks, some real bear market talks, like founder talks. Like, it's the best. That's like the best stuff, especially if you're building. So many memorable moments so far. Also, I just want to show that the TabConf hackathon, we have some pretty amazing projects. There's a lot of swapping stuff going on, a lot of liquid stuff going on. So that's going to be really cool. And I know of at least one AI project that's coming out of it, which is kind of dope. But that all that stuff's going to get announced tomorrow.
I saw a little sneak peek of Nick and Supra's project.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a great idea. I think it's actually likely to be a legitimate thing.
You think they're going to like go off and try to do a startup? You think so?
Oh, not a startup.
Oh, okay. I don't want to speak for him, but I can see that. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting day tomorrow. I'll try to post all the stuff on the social media stuff. But yeah, have a good weekend, Stackers. We'll see you next time. Oh, you want to say something?
Zap.